Welcome to My Vaccine is Jesus. Today's discussion is in the response to JW Comments, Questions, and Objections playlist of this YouTube channel and is entitled Episode 9. Let us begin. This is in response to a recent comment I got from a JW friend. And let's read it. Honor the Son does not mean worship him as God. Okay, this is referring to points I've made regarding John 5:23 and Revelation 5:13 and 14. So let's continue with the comment. Just as means according to and does not necessarily mean same level. John 5:41, Jesus said, I do not accept glory from men. Let's look at that. Even the original Greek word for glory in that verse, John 5:41, means worship. Let's look into this. Let's first off prove that last statement is completely false. All right, this is jw.org, the Greek Interlinear of that verse. Doxan para anthropon ou lambano. Doxan, glory. Okay, it means glory. All right, so what we're going to do to refute this is why don't we put that verse in context? Why don't we look at the entire chapter of John, chapter 5? Let's begin. After this, there was a festival of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now in Jerusalem at the sheep gate, notice the potential spiritual significance of that, the sheep gate, right? Christ is the good shepherd, we're his sheep, he's the gate. Anyway, is a pool called in Hebrew Bethzatha. It's normally pronounced Bethesda. And let's look at that just for interest. So Bethesda is of Chaldean origin, and it's the Hebrew words of Beeth and Chesed, which means house of kindness. So that's what Bethesda means, house of kindness. And notice there were 5 colonnades. John doesn't have to give us this detail. So whenever you see the number 5, almost always it's associated with the Pentateuch, the Torah, the books of the law, Moses, the Old Covenant, etc. Within these, a multitude of the sick, blind, lame, and those with withered limbs were lying down. But one man was there who had been sick for 38 years. Again, 38 years. And you'll see this man can't walk, and you'll see this man, it's due to his sin. So it's a man who can't walk due to his sin for 38 years. Again, why would John use that detail? I'm not sure it means this, but I believe it's referring back to Deuteronomy 2:14. The time it took us to walk from Kadesh Barnea until we crossed the valley of Zered was 38 years, until the entire generation of the men of war perished from the camp, just as Jehovah had sworn to them. So remember, because of their sin, the Israelites had to wander in the wilderness for 40 years. Well, of the 40 years, it's broken down to 38 years, which is this, where they wandered through the wilderness, right, until all the men who were supposed to die died, and then 2 years actually of conquest before they finally crossed into the promised land with actually Joshua or Yeshua or Jesus leading them. So I believe that 38 years refers back to that. I obviously could be wrong, but that's my belief, and it does make sense and connects, notice, sin and walking and 38 years. Anyway, seeing this man lying there and being aware that he had already been sick for a long time, Jesus said to him, "Do you want to get well?" The sick man answered him, "Sir, I do not have anyone to put me into the pool when the water is stirred up, but while I'm on my way, another steps down ahead of me." Jesus said to him, "Get up, pick up your mat and walk." And the man immediately got well, and he picked up his mat and began to walk. That day was the Sabbath. So the Jews began to say to the cured man, "It is the Sabbath, and it is not lawful for you to carry the mat." But he answered them, "The same one who made me well said to me, 'Pick up your mat and walk.'" They asked him, "Who is the man who told you pick it up and walk?" But the healed man did not know who he was, for Jesus had slipped away into the crowd that was there. After this, Jesus found him in the temple and said to him, "See, you have become well. Do not sin anymore, so that something worse does not happen to you." The man went away and told the Jews that it was Jesus who had made him well. For this reason, the Jews were persecuting Jesus because he was doing these things during the Sabbath. But he answered them, "My Father has kept working until now, and I keep working." This is why the Jews began seeking all the more to kill him, because not only was he breaking the Sabbath, but he was also calling God his own Father, making himself equal to God. So notice how the Jews interpreted Christ calling himself the Son of God, that he was equal with the Father, not a created being. Let's continue. Therefore, in response, Jesus said to them, "Most truly I say to you, the Son cannot do a single thing of his own initiative, but only what he sees the Father doing." Think about that. The Son can do anything he sees the Father doing. The Father's omnipotent. Oh, the Son's omnipotent. I don't know about you, but a being that is omnipotent is God by definition. Anyway, so if you agree with me, then again, the Son is declaring himself God. For whatever things that one, the Father, does, these things the Son also does in like manner. Again, reiterating, he can do anything the Father does. Verse 20, for the Father has affection for the Son and shows him all the things he himself does, and he will show him works greater than these so that you may marvel. For just as the Father raises the dead up and makes them alive, so the Son also makes alive whomever he wants to. For the Father judges no... Oh, by the way, notice, he can make alive whomever he wants to. How about himself? Yeah, that would include himself. Does it say he can make everyone alive except his initial physical corruptible body? No, he can make alive whomever he wants to, including the body that he was currently residing in. Verse 22, for the Father judges no one at all, but he has entrusted all the judging to the Son. Go read Jeremiah in the Old Testament. The judging is done by Jehovah. Who's doing the judging? The Son. What does the Old Testament say? Jehovah does the judging. But the Son's doing the judging. Exactly. The Son is Jehovah, just not the same person as his Father. Verse 23, so that all may honor the Son just as they honor the Father. Whoever does not honor the Son does not honor the Father who sent him. What's one of the ways you honor the Father? Worshiping him. Oh, worship the Son likewise. What's one of the ways you honor the Father? Giving him glory. Well, give the Son glory likewise. What's another way you honor the Father? By giving him the holy name of Jehovah, Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh. Well, guess what? Maybe do it to the Son likewise. Verse 24, most truly I say to you, whoever hears my word and believes the one who sent me has everlasting life, and he does not come into judgment, but has passed over from death to life. Most truly I say to you, the hour is coming, and it is now, when the dead will hear the voice of the Son of God, and those who have paid attention will live. For just as the Father have life in himself, so he has granted also to the Son to have life in himself. Think of that. The Father and Son both have life in themselves. They're fountains of life. How on earth could the Son cease to exist? He is life. He has life within himself. It's impossible. So he did not cease to exist for 3 days in the tomb. His physical body was dead for 3 days. His spirit was doing whatever his spirit needed to do for those 3 days. And then the spirit re-entered the body, making it glorified, which will happen to us as well in the future. Look at 1 Corinthians chapter 15. Where are we? Verse 27. And he has given him authority to do judging, because the Son of Man, again, he's doing the judging. But wait a minute, Jeremiah 17 says Jehovah does the judging. Exactly. Do not be amazed at this, for the hour is coming in which all those in the memorial tombs will hear his voice and come out. Those who did good things to the resurrection of life, and those who practice vile things to the resurrection of judgment. This refers to Revelation 20. I cannot do a single thing of my own initiative. Just as I hear, I judge, and my judgment is righteous, because I seek not my own will, but the will of him who sent me. The Father, the Son, the Spirit are in perfect union. And by the way, as a Trinitarian, the Father is the unoriginate one. The Son is begotten of the Father. The Father is not begotten of the Son. And the Spirit proceeds from the Father. The Father doesn't proceed through the Spirit or from the Spirit. So, yes, the fountainhead of the divine essence is the Father, but the Spirit and Son are both eternal divine persons. 31. If I alone bear witness about myself, my witness is not true. There's another who bear witness about me, and I know that the witness he bears about me is true. So who's that? Well, is it the Father? Maybe. Is it the Spirit? Maybe. Makes a lot of sense. He had the fullness of the Spirit after his baptism in the River Jordan by John the Baptist, when the Spirit descended like a dove and remained upon him. So is that the Spirit? Makes sense. It's probably both. If it is the Spirit, again, proving the Spirit is a person, he bears witness, etc. Verse 33, you have sent men to John, and he has borne witness to the truth. However, I do not accept the witness from man, but I say these things so that you may be saved. See, he doesn't need it. He doesn't need the witness of men. He has the witness of the Father and the Spirit. 35, that man, John the Baptist, was a burning and shining lamp, and for a short time you were willing to rejoice in his light. But I have the witness greater than that of John. The very works that my Father assigned to me to accomplish these works that I'm doing bear witness that the Father has sent me. Again, just like John the Baptist said, one comes after me greater than me. And of course, Jesus recognizes he is the Son of God. He is the Creator. Verse 37, and the Father who sent me has borne witness about me. There you go. You have neither heard his voice at any time nor seen his form. And you do not have his word residing in you, because you do not believe the very one whom he sent. Who's the Word of God? Jesus Christ. So Jesus Christ is not residing in them, because you do not believe the very one whom he sent. Who's the one who sent? Jesus Christ. What happens if we believe on Jesus Christ? Oh, we get everlasting life, and Jesus Christ will raise us on the last day. Okay. 39. You are searching the scriptures because you think that you will have everlasting life by means of them, and these are the very ones that bear witness about me. And yet you do not want to come to me so that you may have life. Wow. So Jesus Christ isn't living in them. They don't believe in him. He's the one sent from God. They don't want to come to him. If they would have life. And then the next verse. I do not accept glory from men. So Jesus doesn't want the glory from men. That's weird. That contradicts every single thing we've been reading about. I do not accept glory from men. I don't want it. I don't want that glory. I don't want that worship, even though it means glory. Let's look at that verse in Greek again. Doxan para anthropon ou lambano. Glory of men I'm not receiving. Oh, I'm not getting it from men. Lambano, to take, to receive, to get, to lay hold of. Verse 43, I have come in the name of my Father, but you do not receive me. If someone else came in his own name, you would receive that one. How can you believe when you are accepting glory from one another, and you are not seeking the glory that is from the only God? Who came from the only God? Jesus Christ came from the only God. Who are we told to give the same honor to compared to what we would give to the Father? That was the Son. Verse 45, do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one who accuses you, Moses, in whom you have put your hope. In fact, if you believed Moses, you would believe me, for he wrote about me. But if you do not believe his writings, how will you believe what I say? Now, if you think, after reading the entire chapter of John, chapter 5, that in 41, Jesus was saying, I don't want any glory whatsoever from men, you are highly mistaken, right? Let's think about it today. Are we supposed to, should the world give honor and glory to the Son? Of course it should. Does it? No. So does the Son receive or take honor and glory from men today? No. Did he do it at that time? No. Were the men he was speaking to who did not believe him, did not come to him to receive life, were they giving him appropriate glory? No. So to think that that verse means that Jesus doesn't want honor and glory when we are ordered to give him honor and glory. And if you look again at Revelation 5:13 and 14, all creation, all created beings in heaven, all created beings on earth, all created beings in the sea, all created beings underneath the earth will be giving the same honor, glory, blessing, and worship to the Father and Son forever and ever. So that verse does not mean that. It's a bad translation, probably purposefully. And if you look at the entire context of John 5, especially the verses right before it and the verses after it, it obviously does not mean what our Jehovah's Witness friend believes. I pray I spoke truth and interpret Holy Scripture correctly so that this discussion might have been a blessing to you, the listener. All truth comes from God. Any errors were my own. If it was a blessing, I would greatly appreciate if you could like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Lord willing, we shall meet again. May the Holy Trinity bless us all.